Happy Bio. It's day 81. Today would normally be the first day of our eco issues presentations in class, where community members and students would interview each other and find out what's going on with their topics. So our target is to be able to explain at least five eco issues and practical solutions that a Maple Valleyite can enact, or any global citizens, right? Since we should all think of it that way. Now, before we jump into that, the thing that I want to take a look at was the topic. It's the eco issues. And of course, eco just is short for ecology. So before we dive into that, we usually talk about what ecology means, because most people don't know, right? So pause me for a second. You know a lot about this stuff by now because you took the AP Bio exam. What does ecology mean? And then we'll see if we can figure it out together, right? Now, key thing by now, you should notice that most people know that ology is just the study of, right? But then there's this thing called ecos. And eco comes from the Greek ekos, right? So what does ecology mean? Study of something. At this point, most kids are like, well, you study ecosystems. If you dig a little deeper, okay, well, you study all the plants and animals, all the biotic and abiotic factors in an area. That's the ecosystem. So you study all things. That's true, right? But what I want to know is, what does ecology mean? And ology is just the study, but eco comes from the Greek word ekos. What does ecos mean? Well, ecos means home. It translates to home. So when we talk about our eco issues projects, what we're actually studying is the issues with our home. So we consider that in terms of our home. You might notice some things. Our home is called planet Earth. And all of your work on your projects that you'll be viewing everybody else's this week, at least 16 of them, well, it's not doing so great. Humans have done a lot of things that have seriously hampered its ability to keep everything alive, including us, right? Now, most of these problems are linked to now one species, right? I love this cartoon because it says, I'm stupid. Most of these are man-made problems, from human overconsumption to global climate change to ocean acidification to overpopulation. Any one of them is linked back to humans. Anybody that thinks scientifically and looks at the evidence can see that. And you've done that now in your projects. Your job now is to deliver that information and get it out to the public, the rest of the people that are in your family, your friends, your extended family, your community, so we can spread that out. And that's why we're making the videos. Normally, we'd be also presenting to our community. Your job is to extend that beyond that, right? Now, one of the things that we should notice is, really, I want to change the shirt because it has to do with human ignorance. Most people wouldn't kill an elephant or kill a grizzly bear for a t-shirt or an elephant for a cell phone. They wouldn't do all these horrible things to the planet if they actually knew what they were going to eventually do to ourselves and the rest of it, right? They were ignorant. You no longer have that excuse, because through your project and through all these ETDs that I've been doing with you, you hopefully have a little better idea of what we're doing to the planet, and now some solutions to fix that. So if you continue to make the same selfish, nearsighted decisions that humans have been making for the last 100 years especially, but all of our existence, you are no longer ignorant. That's stupid. So I hope that we can start conquering the ignorance so that man can show off this impressive brain, Homo sapiens, the wise man, and how wise they can be, right? But that's up to you and the choices that you're making the rest of your life and how well you are communicating the ideas, because pretty soon you're going off to college and you're going to interact with a bunch of folks, or maybe next year in high school, and those folks are going to be open to new ideas, and they're highly intelligent because they've been trained in the same classes as you. You can always conquer some of their ignorance, because if you don't know, then you can't make a change, and now you can't make the excuse you didn't know, right? Now, you might say to yourself, okay, I'm just a little person. What difference can I make, right? Well, here's a story of a little person who met the most powerful person in the world at that time. And if you don't recognize her, this is my little wife, right? My beautiful little wife. She, of course, was able to interact with and have a chance to meet and speak to one of the most powerful people on Earth at that time, mainly because of her union work, but through her hard dedication and work through that. Now, if my wife can gain access to the most powerful person on earth, then imagine what you can do. Imagine what you can do with your powerful ideas and this wonderful thing called technology that we could use for our benefit to spread ideas and get rid of ignorance. So, little people can do big things. I'm expecting big things of these little people. I know my wife will always do big things, and I try my best to try to conquer ignorance as much as possible with these videos and what I do in class regularly every day when we're in normal world, right? It can start with you, it can spread to your family, then it can spread to your community, and maybe we could actually turn this thing around and help the planet to keep us alive, as well as all the other beautiful creatures that we learned about how they work this year. That's the goal of the Eco Issues Project, to conquer ignorance, to have an idea, and to spread that idea, because it doesn't end with just the presentations this week. It's your job to carry it on for the rest of your life. So we might as well start practicing it now and acting like informed adults. That's our goal here, right? So with our presentations, of course, what you're going to end up doing is everybody's made a video. They're submitting them to me this week. Then they're going to be provided for you the last week of school. You're going to get a sheet where you're going to actually go and view 16 student screencastify eco issues videos. That's a mouthful. And evaluate them based on their quality. You'll then email them one question. They will respond to you with their answer to that question. You'll give them a score out of 5. If they really seem like they know what they're doing, their presentation, what you're looking at too, as well as their video, then you give them a 5. If they seem like, they're kind of making up stuff, well, then you can give them a lower score, right? Key thing is I will be evaluating all those, so I get the final word on this, but those will have an impact on whether or not you impress and show people that you know what you know. So be ready to answer them in your emails of the questions that are there, and fill out and write down your 16 questions on that sheet. You're going to share that video then beyond just the people in class. You're going to share it with your family, and hopefully beyond that to your friends and to anybody who hasn't been stuck in Neil land and gotten the Neil Eco guilt trip, right? With textbook returns, that's going to be likely the last week of school. The main office is still figuring out how that process is going to proceed safely with coronavirus and in the works here. Hopefully it'll go nice and smooth, as well as graduation and all that stuff. I look forward to seeing you in some function at graduation there, seniors, and juniors. I hope to see you again next year in the halls, or maybe as a mentee, right? Key thing I wanted you to notice, little people can do big things if they have big ideas and they have a heart to actually go after those things. Because if they do, that means that not only you, who are taking over the world for this group of boomers who have not made the wisest decisions, right? But also, these little critters that are going to be growing up in the world that you create, that I care a lot about. And, well, you're going to have little critters possibly yourself someday. We really need to bring things around, conquer the ignorance, and give ourselves and our planet a chance, right? Because it's the only one we got. All right. Good luck in your presentations.